Hello, good evening. Welcome to Talkin Kop. It's me, Chris Brack. I'm here with Kev. I'm here with Dylan. And we're going to preview a football match. It is Liverpool against Tottenham Hotspurs at the Tottenham Stadium, which will be all fun and games. I've just sent something in the private chat to these two lads over a debate we were having, and none of us got that fucking figure. We'll come to that in a minute. Fuck me. That was an eye-watering response. More about that later. So, Kev, Tottenham. This game's always entertaining when we play each other, whether it's at Anfield or at their place. It's always goals, always whether they have a proper manager or they have Ange Postecoglou.
Yeah, it's just one of them. They're both two attacking sides. They both have a right goal. But I looked at last season, I think with a combined score of something like 15-5 against Spurs. But you can't really look at it because half of our side is gone. And they're completely different to what they are. They're actually statistically worse this season than what they were last season, which takes some fucking doing because they were atrocious. And it's like, you look at that squad of players the Spurs have, they really are better than what they're showing on the pitch. And my biggest fear is they turn up and actually put in a performance because they're capable of it. They've shown glimpses of putting in a performance this season. But for whatever reason, Thomas Frank, it hasn't worked yet. And the Spurs fans are cranky and irritable and moany and
so standard.
But even more uppity than normal. Like they're a bit more uppity than normal. I mean, last year they were entitled to be uppity, but at the minute they're like they've got rid of Daniel Levy, so they're happy enough. They got rid of Daniel Levy finally. They got rid of Ange because he was playing suicide football. They got in a guy who was supposed to strengthen their defense, and he's actually made them more porous, which takes some fucking doing. Like, that really takes some level of expertise to make them concede more than what they did this time last year.
And let's be honest, he's a proper manager. He's not a muppet.
This is the thing. This is
that's what's got me. This is not what they put some muppet in charge like they had last time. It's a proper manager.
It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, I just wonder, is it? And I think a lot of the fear is with this is they have the technical ability to be able to beat anyone on their day. They do. Yes. They've just got good quality players, but they've got the mental strength of a digestive that's been soaked in tea for 3 weeks, and somebody decides to take it out.
You saying like the rich tea biscuits? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm not the digestives. The ones and
they're a bit stiffer. I was thinking more rich tea.
Yeah, no, because they just crumble and they fall apart.
That was last year.
And the thing is, I don't know what the fuck Liverpool are going to turn up. Our away record. This is it. We were talking before we came on.
It's consistent, isn't it, Kev?
Our away record.
You could say that.
Well, I think in the last 6 games, it's 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. That's very consistent.
Mm.
It's not what you fucking want, but it's very consistent.
Yeah. So look, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what Liverpool are going to turn up, and that's the thing. There's no. You can't. If you turn around and said, "Look, there's your last tenner in your pocket, and you don't get paid until January, and you have to bet on someone," you're avoiding this game like the plague. Because I don't know what's going to happen. I genuinely don't. And our options are limited. They genuinely are. We won't know until tomorrow what the injury status is like on some of the players. We can only go by the noises that are out there at the moment.
I think the only one likely to be back, or has a chance of being back, is Szoboszlai. He's touch and go. Gomez, they've said hamstring, but they have said it's not a serious one. And we did say at the time in the game, had he done a Milner, where he felt something twinge and got a fuck, I'm sitting down. I know straight away what I'm going to be done for. And Bradley be back in the squad. But I think that's it. I don't think, Frimpong's going to train next week. So realistically, Jan. Endo apparently is Jan. And Leone's next summer. So.
Yeah. I just think that with Mo gone, I think that we know what we're going to get. I mean, Dylan, you were over there last week. You saw this firsthand. This kind of split strikers, one up, one off strikers. I don't know. What did you make of it when you saw it firsthand?
Yeah, it was a completely different setup, I think, what we saw last week compared to what we saw maybe even in the couple of weeks prior to it. I think Slot was really gauging how things are going to look without Salah there. I'll just say, lads, Vert is unbelievable. Like live, he is so good. Um, and I think if he shows up, we show up. I'd be worried about Szoboszlai not being back because I think he's been brilliant, but Ekatike and Verts have looked fantastic. Particularly last week, they were brilliant. So I just hope you can keep that sort of consistent going in. There'll obviously be a couple of changes and injuries have probably dictated that, but I'm optimistic that we can go there with some level of consistency in the squads and perform. I'd like to see the two lads up top. I don't know about yous. I'd love to see the Isaac Ekatike experiment. And as you say, Spurs are a box of frogs at the best of times. So who better to try it against?
I mean, Chris, you look at it, you've got a back four with Spurs, more than likely is going to be Poirot, Romero, Van de Ven, and left back Jed Spence probably.
Which is too fair. It's a
decent back four.
On paper, that's a good back four. It's got the right mix of pace and experience. You know, it's got
pace and lunacy.
Yeah, but it depends which Romero turns up in it. But in general, if you saw that as the back four, you're thinking it's not a bad back four, and you kind of think, again, that defense should do better than what it is doing. Yeah. And then I think the midfield they played against Forest was Archie Gray and Bentancur as a two.
Yeah.
And then he played 4 out and out attackers. I'm not sure if he might go for. I don't think he'll do that midfield again. Well, he might do. I would assume Papsar will come back in because, to be fair,
he's gone. He's gone to AFCON.
Oh, has he gone to AFCON? Because he's
gone to AFCON. Yeah.
So maybe Bergvall, and Paulinho. Was probably. I would think the way Thomas Frank is, he would. And knowing how porous we are at set pieces, I think he'd go for as many. If I was him, you go for as many big lads as you could and look for set pieces, which would be Paulinho, and players like that. Bergvall normally does quite well against Liverpool when he's not handballing things and snapping players.
All right. So, well, at the minute, let me just give you a list of the players who are missing for Spurs, okay? Sarr, unavailable. Kulusevski, Bissouma, Udogi, Dragazin, Madison, and Solanke, all out.
There's a couple of big ones as well. Like, I think isn't Madison Dragazin ACLs as well? They're quite big injuries. They're not like small ones.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if they've got any suspensions at the minute. I've got a feeling they have someone suspended as well.
I had a quick look at that Premier League injuries where they didn't mention any suspensions because it's still got Bradley down as missing the last game and due back for this one. So because of suspension. So
yeah, and this is the thing. Bergvall is there. He's a good player. He's a tidy little player.
Very tidy,
but
very punchable face though.
It's
just something about I just can't take to it. He's a good player, but just something about him winds me up.
For me, it's just like the Premier League is the kind of league that at the minute this season, you almost have to have more about you. And if Spurs are going to play as it says there, Kudus, I don't think he's away. I don't think they qualified.
I don't think they qualified now.
No,
he's Ghanaian, isn't he?
Yeah, Ghana qualified.
It's the same as Semenyo.
Yeah,
they didn't qualify. Yeah.
So you look at the front; they'll probably play 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, that's
and I think we'll play the same. I think the one thing I looked at without Salah in the side last week was how tight and narrow we were, and looking for a whiff from the fullbacks. It's kind of going to mirror what Spurs do with their fullbacks. Spence and Poirot look to bomb on, look to create space and be the wide options. The only difference is with Kudus on one side and more than likely Xavi Simons or Kolomwani off the opposite flank.
Yeah.
One, Kudus likes to get the ball and dribble at players. The other one is more link player.
Kudus is very Spurs though, because on his day, he's an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
But I think we saw it at West Ham. I think you've seen flashes of it for Spurs. It's flashes and moments.
Yeah.
But he will also be a player that can be incredibly frustrating.
Mm.
You know, unless as a Liverpool fan, you're hoping that's what we're going to get
But,
Yeah.
on Saturday. But
and that's the thing.
But the
We
technical
don't-
ability he's got, he can hurt anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And that isn't that the thing, though. We don't know what we're going to get.
Mm.
And I think that's the thing with Spurs fans as well. It's why they're getting so frustrated. I watched a few of their games this season, and mainly because look, I like Javi Simons as a footballer, and there was a lot of talk before he came into the league. Will he be able to handle it? Will he be able to transition from the Bundesliga into the Premier League? And so far, he's shown glimpses, but that's about it.
Mm.
Kind of like Florian Wirtz in a way, where you've seen glimpses of what he's capable of. But I think you're seeing more industry from Florian Wirtz rather than what you're seeing from Simmons. But at the same time, I watched him, I don't know, it was last week or the week before, and some of his play, you can't get near him at times.
His
You know,
movement's
I think
very clever.
Yeah, he's gonna be a handful for whoever we end up playing in midfield. That's why I think we will probably be narrow. And it probably will be a diamond in midfield of some sort. But
I agree.
I'm not sure what options we're going to have available to us off the bench to be able to affect meaningful change.
That's the problem, isn't it?
I did wonder if Szoboszlai was fit, would he play all four midfielders and just do Wirtz off Ekitike and have Isak in his back pocket as a break glass option to bring on for the last half hour? You know, even that means taking a midfielder off and you go two up front.
Yeah.
And you play Wirtz then as a 10 or a wide left.
Did any of us watch Carragher's breakdown on Monday Night Football?
Yeah, I try not to watch Jamie Carragher.
No, I watched him on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, he spoke very well about
for
Liverpool
that hour
and their fullbacks, how high their fullbacks were last week against Brighton. And when you look at it, you're thinking, there's no way they were that high. Where Gomez was more or less playing right wing, as was Kirkis. But when you're so narrow, and as you say, the likelihood we're probably going to play a diamond in the middle of the park with either Wirtz up top with Ekitike or some sort of two strikers and Wirtz behind them, you need that bit of width. So Bradley coming back in and being that higher wide option might be a big asset for us.
Well, when he came in against Milan, he was good. I think that's where the frustration was. Is both games he's come on when he came in against Leeds, he did fine, but then gets the ban. I mean, they are going to be high and wide because that's what plays advantage. I think we get away with that a bit more now, Kev, as well, because with this system he's adopted at the moment, he's generally keeping that square we talk about of Konate, Van Dijk, Jones, Gravenberch. And that square doesn't move massively. There was some rotation against Brighton, but generally there was always that square in front of the keeper, which then means you can get away with fullbacks going high and even getting caught because you have two options deep, which is what we had last year when we needed it, and which is we've not had for a lot of the year. A lot of the year has just been like Brendan Rodgers, fuck it, lads, let's hope for the best, you know. And then I think if you do it against Spurs with their pace, you're asking for trouble. So
the one thing I'd say is at home you can do certain things. Away from home, if you try, look, truth is Brighton should have got something out of that game. They created enough really good chances, especially early in the second half, to get something out of that game. All right, the fact that we kept a clean sheet, Alisson made an absolute belter of a save, and they had an absolute horrendous miss. You know, really bad miss at the start of the second half. So the clean sheet masks a few cracks that are still there. There's still a lot of teething problems in this new system, and that's to be expected. It's to be expected.
But on the flip side, it's the same in the other box. Although Liverpool scored 2, Liverpool had the chances, especially Ekitike, to score more. You can say
that's the advantage of scoring first.
Yeah,
it's the advantage of scoring first that it forces the opposition side to come out and have to play you. So especially if we can get the early advantage against Spurs, the way the Spurs crowd are at the minute, the way the players are, they will be reckless and they will look to do silly things and try to force things when it ain't there. It's all about,
especially their captain when they're losing.
But it's all about us at the minute, making sure that we're disciplined off the ball and responsible with it in possession. But at the same time, when we get the chances, you have to take them. You know, and they will give you chances. Vicario is up there with your man from Leeds. Do you remember your man, the French keeper that Leeds had?
Messi.
Meltzer.
Yeah, everyone was trying to convince you that he was really good. He really fucking wasn't.
Whoa, no.
He
He's
really
still
wasn't.
at Leeds.
Yeah,
Choice
well,
of
he's,
Leeds.
he's down the pecking order now.
What did it for me was that the first game, I think, in the Premier League with him, Van Dijk's header, he catches it and falls in the goal with it. I'm like, well, there you go. He's got big, he can't even, that sort of said it all. That said it all, really.
Vicario is one of these keepers who were bigging up as being, the next up and coming Italian keeper, and he's going to be pushing Donnarumma.
He's got so many big ricks in him.
Mate, the only thing he's pushing for Donnarumma is his cart around Tesco. That's all he's pushing him. He's a woeful goalkeeper, so he will give you chances.
I'm surprised they didn't try and upgrade on him.
I agree. I was shocked they didn't go for Kelleher.
Because even in the Champions League, Europa League final, and it was 1-0 Spurs. Vicario did his best to try and make it interesting. Van der Ven bailed him out so many times.
Yep.
So what's that? We'll have a fucking worldie now.
Yeah, absolutely. I know.
The history is there that you'd fancy your chances against them.
Yeah, I noticed you said there, Kevin, a minute ago. That's the pleasure or luxury you have when you score first or score early. I heard a stat that that's the first time we've scored inside the opening 9 minutes under slot. How crazy a stat is that?
I think it's our first time we scored in the first half in about 6 league games.
Insane.
Not unsurprising though when you look at how patient we try to be.
Last season, first half, we're going in either 1-0 down or 0-0 90% of the time.
But sides who play us are quite happy to make it a 45-minute game.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're coming up against Liverpool now, the way I look at it is say, okay, don't concede. If you get a chance, great. If they gift you a chance, take it. Great, because Liverpool will gift up chances. But under no circumstances do you take excessive risks to go behind. Don't do anything stupid. And that's how you have to set up against if you're playing against Liverpool at the minute.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid. Don't be naive. Be defensively compact and solid, and look to play on the counter.
Yeah.
Get someone to sit on Gravenberch and someone to sit on Virgil van Dijk and make Konate play the ball.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. You don't have to try to reinvent the wheel or anything like that. Do those few things and you'll give yourself a good chance. And when you get to the hour mark, you can make your changes and go and try and win it in the last half hour.
Which Liverpool are going to struggle with, because the changes we're going to have are going to be young Rio and Gamoa, who he's a kid, so I know there's been a lot of shout. He should be starting and all that, but he's 17. He shouldn't be.
I think he's the most minutes for a 17-year-old in the league so far.
Yeah. So Chiesa, who he hates, so he's going to last 20 minutes. I mean, there's a thing about Lewis Steele thinks he's still never given him since the FA Cup game, which was like, not be funny, like there was a lot of him in that game. It was shit, not just Chiesa. And
let it go,
I think the frustration I have with we all have Chiesa's. To be fair, whenever he's come on, he's looked good.
Yeah,
Chiesa's got this knack of affecting the game.
Yeah. Now maybe he's so effective because he's coming against tired legs.
Maybe
but until we start him in games, we'll fucking never know. But Chiesa will come off the bench, but that'll be it. And then otherwise, Robbo to play left wing again because it was great fun. Yeah. Watch your Robbo left wing. But that's about it really, because the rest are all the other senior players are out.
Yeah. And that was the only other one that might come to mind. You'd like to probably.
I don't think he's back
he's out.
He's still out until Jan.
Out till Jan. That's the rumour. It's a muscle injury, so he's out till Jan. He picked it up in the Leeds game.
Nice.
So again,
it looks like you guys are having your YouTube algorithms is throwing up some really, really weird stuff. And if you're watching this on a repeat or later on and you're not seeing the live chat, well, look, make sure you got your bell icons on at 10 o'clock and you'll see some real weird shit.
There was another joke we could but we're not going with that.
No, I ain't repeating some of that stuff that you guys are talking about in there. That's just wrong.
Oh, dear. So, we think we've gone through Spurs. It'd be interesting what's going on with them in the January window, because you would think they would look to do some sort of business because they need something to freshen the squad up. They're one of 15 clubs linked with Semenya. I think every man and his fucking dogs
Yep.
got personal terms agreed apparently. So he's got, that's a big phone call he's had, isn't it? Every
A
single one
group
of
call.
a group call, just a Zoom call. You first.
Yeah.
Right. So that'll be interesting. I mean, the rumor is they're looking to offload Johnson, who actually I always think looks all right for Spurs. I mean, I don't watch Spurs religiously, but it always looks all right. I was a bit shocked when I found out they paid 47 million for him. Which
Surprised is right.
Yeah,
that to me says they're
thing.
not looking to sell him, because the Spurs are under Daniel Levy were one of the best run clubs financially. They were not one of, they were the best run club financially in the league. The fact that he was able to build that stadium, where he built it, when he built it, and what the stadium looks like, and the training complex, and everything that goes with it, and still put a team out, and still spend, and still sell well. They don't sell for loss. That to me just doesn't add up at all. I know Daniel Levy's gone, but his DNA is going to be all over that club for a good while. I'd be amazed if they're looking to get rid of him. I think the manager is in serious trouble.
Yeah, I have to agree with you.
And I don't look, if you lose against Liverpool, it shouldn't make a blind bit of difference to any manager. I kind of find it laughable when you see a manager getting sacked after losing to Man City or losing to Liverpool or losing to Arsenal. It's like, what the fuck do you expect?
Because that could happen
You
anyway.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I honestly think some of the results and performances that they've put in, you have to question whether the players are playing for him.
Especially the home. If your home record's average at best, that tends to be you're in the most trouble because that's the biggest amount of fan base watching you. Not saying away games don't count, but home form is the key. Klopp went through it with us when he had only 6 home games in a row. Now there was nobody in the stadium, but we all felt that going like you can't lose too many home games. I mean, look at us. We've all lost the Reds, and we've only lost 2. At home, we've had enough. We've had enough of things because you don't lose games at home. That's the idea. So line up Kev and Dylan then. Should we have a guess? I mean, I don't think it'll be too hard to guess. Allison in goal. Bradley at right back because we haven't got another right back. Canate, by hell or high water, will never be dropped, but also we haven't got anyone else to replace him. Van Dijk, I would assume Kirk is to keep his place because it's been a week since the last game. And to be fair, he played well against Brighton, so just sort of played the momentum and you use Robbo in Leeds or Wolves.
The only thing I would say is Spurs will look to attack down that side a lot more. It's just the way that they're set up with Mohamed Kudus to attack down that wing, and with Pedro Porro as well.
Do you think
it's going to ask a lot more questions of the left side of midfield? And Kirkes has to stay on his feet. He can't go to ground against Mohamed Kudus because he will get embarrassed.
Do you think Kudus is a bit against Mint? I thought he was good. I know he dives in probably 2 or 3 times, but do you think Kudus would be a trickier customer?
Yeah, I think he's more experienced. I think he's just better with his feet. He's not as quick as Minta, but I think he's got more. He's got more in his box of tricks.
Minta always wants to beat you on the outside. I think Kirk has picked that up fairly quickly. That he had to show him the line. You can do that to Kudus and he'll go, yeah, fine, I'll do that foot race with you, but he's quite happy to cut in as well and drift. I think so. I think it'd be a bigger chance, but I still think, I don't know, with Robbo's age, I'd still start it. Now, midfield, if we assume there's no Szoboszlai, let's assume he's out. The worst case scenario.
Okay.
I would say, well, Gravenberch will play, Jones will play because they're the 2, and Maka will play somewhere in the midfield. So I think they'll be your 3 with Wirtz. It'd be them 4 in some sort of combination. But then up front, I assume it'll just have to be the front 2 lads because he isn't going to pick Kirk. He isn't going to pick Chiesa.
No. Yeah.
If Szoboszlai isn't playing, I expect to see Jones and Gravenberch as a double 6. And I expect to see McAllister and Wirtz as 2 8s. a narrow midfield four, and I expect to see Ekitike in a freer role with Isaac looking to make runs in behind and run the flanks and occupy Van de Ven. Try to make Van de Ven not come forward. I think Van de Ven is probably one of, if not the quickest centre-backs in the league.
Yeah.
But he does like to get involved as well. He does like to come forward. And I think you'd look to put Isaac on Romero and just wind them up and wait
for him to kick you. Just wait for him to kick you.
Won't take long.
No, and stay away from Van de Ven and try to keep the ball away from Van de Ven. And the thing is, if it wasn't
that'd be a good foot race, wouldn't it, Kev?
If it wasn't for the fact that he was so injury prone, he'd be right at the top of my wish list.
Yeah.
It's just the type of injuries he's had are horrible fucking injuries. If he can stay fit for this season, I think that Spurs will do really well to keep him. I think he's got Man City written all over him when Ruben Diaz leaves. I think Man City will go very big for him.
And if Pep is still there next season, he also likes a centre back who can put. No, but the way City set up, they also like a centre back who can cover full back.
Yeah.
Ake's and people like that, and Van de Ven can do that. Tell you one thing, foot race, Ekitike versus Van de Ven would be a good race to watch.
I'd watch that.
Yeah.
They're both rapid, so I think that'd be a good foot race.
Yeah, I think Hugo has it, but I honestly think the battle for this game is our midfield four.
Yeah.
With their 4-2-3-1, trying to, because they'll look to attack down the flanks. Their strength is out wide. They're attacking fullbacks. Porro has a good delivery from set piece. He's got a good delivery from deep with his crosses. So if they look to attack down that side, you're looking at crosses coming in around Konate and Bradley. So that's the area of the pitch they'll look to attack. And if you've got more than likely either Richarlison or Kolomuani attacking from that side, Bradley and Konate will have to be right on it and really alert to those deep crosses, because that is a strength that they can play to. But being the home side, they're going to have to make the game. Their crowd will demand that.
Yeah.
And that gives us chances.
Yeah. If Somslai's fit, or Isaac. I think it's only one of them two that's going to go on the bench.
Szoboszlai comes in for Isaac if Szoboszlai is available, I think.
And everyone moves up one then.
Yeah, I think so. So be interesting.
Ekitike would be your most advanced player. Wirtz would have the free role. Szoboszlai on the right. And
the three lads behind him.
Well, you say that. He's been playing McAllister in this advanced number 10 role, right? And look, he used to be able to do that. That's what he spent 4 years at Brighton doing. He come to Liverpool and he dropped back.
Yeah.
But when he was doing that at Brighton, there was very little expectation on him. It's like, he gets the odd goal here and there, kind of like Buonanotte type of player, at Brighton, who chip in with goals now and again. And they'll look good and what have you, but it's not his strength. Not anymore. Yeah. He's better deeper. But at the same time, Jones has shown on the ball in possession, he's the best of the lot.
Yeah.
So he's the one that comes back and splits the two centre-backs and allows the full-backs to go forward. And the one thing with Thomas Frank and Spurs, you think about how Brentford used to play us. He used to use Vissa and Mbeumo to look to press us. But at the same time, how many times did we play against Brentford and he'd leave Mbeumo up top and he'd just get lost in the game. He'd just get marked out of it in the end.
Yeah.
So he used to get wild. Yeah, of course, I've seen him at Anfield.
He used to get frustrated more than
anything. His head would pop eventually because he just didn't get a kick.
Exactly. And this is what you got to look at. It's not the Spurs that we're used to playing against last season with Ange Postecoglou, or Spurs beforehand where they were back and forth. There were loads of goals both ways. I mean, the 6-3, we absolutely battered them for pillar to post. And then didn't they come back into it with 3 goals? And we were sat there like, are we going to really throw this away? They had that mad streak in them. You know, and
Yeah.
the thing is, you look at with Liverpool this season, is like there's no safe scoreline with us.
Yeah.
Irrespective of the last four results, the fact we've had a few clean sheets. To me, I think I still believe that Brighton scoreline masked a fair few problems, and a lot of the problems are created by the lack of depth to affect change. So the fact that we've had a week to fully prepare for this,
Probably
they know what
helps.
they're going into. There's no excuses not to be. And our record in London hasn't been great. West Ham result aside, our record in London has been pretty poor. So we need to be able to use this time. And I'm looking forward to seeing if there's not any. I don't expect to see any wholesale changes, but I expect to see some more sharpness in our build-up play and maybe in our set pieces as well.
Fair enough. Right. Dylan, score prediction. You know the rules. Goal scorers as well.
3-0.
Fucking hell,
Verts.
what's in that iron brew? If you said nil again.
Yeah. 3-0. 3-0. We love clean sheets. 3-0. Florian Verts 2. Isaac 1.
My God, he's gone for the lads who haven't scored as well. Even
Yeah.
better. Wow. Right, Grumpy Kev, what we're going for?
5-all.
Yeah.
Friday tea time kickoff.
He's going 1-0 Spurs. You can feel it coming.
No, I got 3-2 Liverpool. I got 3-2 Liverpool. I go with Ekatike because he's a man in form. McAllister and Konate.
Okay. I'm going to go 4-2 Liverpool because they're both fucking mental. Ekatike brace, Jones, and Konate from a corner to make it back-to-back corner goals.
Ooh.
Ashley and I can go have a fucking party.
We don't even have a corner taker.
Who needs that?
Yeah.
It's a good question. That's a good question. If Szoboszlai doesn't play,
McAllister, I think, will probably say
Verts.
Verts is the one, yeah. They're the two you would think would be on set piece duty.
Yeah. I do like an in-swinger. We have very few left footers, but I do like a left footer taking an in-swinger.
Well, apparently Simicast is on his way back in January, so we can bring him on for that, so that'll be all right.
Yeah.
So now we've done the foot.
Wallace has gone 2-0 with Virgil and Konate. Oz Copite's got 3-1. Ekatike brace with Connor Brad. Connor Bradley's not a bad shout, you know.
He's due one.
Connor Bradley's not a bad shout.
He's definitely due a goal. He's got into positions for it.
Yeah. Oisin has gone 3-1 with Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekatike, Konate with Bergval scoring for Spurs. And let's have a look at this. What's Robert asking? Do you guys think the upcoming games will be seen as a test of what Slot will do for the long term without Mo?
No, I don't personally. I think the decision's already been made. I think we've seen Salah play for the last time for Liverpool. And we're moving on regardless.
I think he's there till the summer. I think he goes in the
Potentially.
Or to make him see his contract. I'll be surprised. It'll be a little bit surprised if he sees his contract with all the nonsense. And
it's
gone off. But also, weirder things have happened in football.
100%.
Let's be honest. We've had players kung fu kick fans. We've had players be headbutted by the manager, and then they still play. So you know, all sorts of random shit happens in footy.
Yeah, I'd be amazed if Salah. I think Carragher hit the nail on the head on Monday night. I'd be very surprised if Mo Salah's at the club next summer, or at the start of next season. Saying all of that, he does 100%. We were lucky enough to be there for Firmino's last game.
Yeah, you'd want to be.
He deserves all of that and more.
Yeah.
All right. And the thing is, it's all about everyone's trying to read between the lines and read the tea leaves and what have you. Truth is, nobody knows. No. None of us know. So the only thing I hope he sees out this season, whether he does or not, time will tell.
I think the only way he does beyond this summer is one or two things. Either the manager's not there, which
That's always a possibility as well.
Which is up for debate. Or there's a dramatic upturn in his form, where people go, "Oh, okay, he's not going to be back to Mo of last year, but he's
still Mo.
But he's between the two. Where you're going like, right,
Yeah.
he's still a useful threat."
Yeah.
Which at the moment,
I think if you're on 400 grand a week, you have to be a bit more than a useful threat.
Well, do you know what I mean? He's still a key part of the machine.
Yeah.
Whether that's how we use them, that doesn't. I'm not really asked.
I'm just more shocked we're after agreeing with Jamie Carragher twice on this show. In 25 minutes, we've agreed with him twice, and
He's a bit bipolar, Jamie Carragher, because one minute he tries to double down, said, "I apologise for upset Mo. I didn't mean it like that," and the next minute he's going, "I meant everything I said," and he's ranting.
I think you got to take.
He's ranting at the overlap bit to so saying, "None of you understand what's going on." I'm going, "Not be funny, guys. The United lads saw big players leave and big players kick up a force, so you probably do know a little bit of what it's like."
I'll be honest. You have to. For me, you've got to take the pundits and look at the programs that they're on.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football between 7 and 8 is very analytical still. It's still, they're really good at breaking sides down and looking at the analysis of stuff.
Yeah.
I think you put someone on podcast form on YouTube or on Spotify or Acast or wherever, then it's,
clips. Yeah, it's all clips.
And, you take it for what it is. Yeah. But I don't think he's far off. In the long term, I don't see us evolving into a side that plays 4-4-2 or any version of it. I think we will look to try to sign pacey wide players.
I agree.
The setup of the squad doesn't make sense.
It doesn't lend for it at the minute. I think
because if we were going to go down 4-4-2, we'd have bought Ekitike, Isak, and we'd have bought another number 9, maybe a project one, maybe more of an exciting youngster, but we haven't really gone down that route. Actually, while she's also not with us, let's ask a good question. Thoughts on Mo Salah meeting Henderson before he shook hands with Slot, which has been confirmed as a thing that happened. My take is, with the falling out, it wouldn't surprise that Mo went to players who have left Liverpool recently. A little bit of, is grass green on the other side? How was it? Do you regret it? Especially for Henderson, what was it like in the Saudi league? And listen, you can speculate what was said, but Henderson went, "Well, I didn't last the season. It was fucking rubbish, and I had to go and play in Holland for a year to make sure I'd have to have a tax bill."
Yeah.
And I think Henderson regrets the way he left Liverpool.
I agree with you.
And maybe he might have said to Salah, "If you want to go, but probably not like the right way. Not like this. It's not. It's probably saying like, keep your head down for 6 months. It's not worth it for 6 months. Leave with leave head held high. Big send off from the crowd. Happy days."
Yep.
Yeah.
Ashley said it's called multitasking, Chris. We're 3 blokes. We haven't a fucking clue what that is. Do you know what I mean? Kev Green. Kev knows that. What's your take on it, Kev?
Yeah, I think. Look, Jordan Henderson isn't the only one to go to the Saudi League and see it fall apart. I've seen this week Ivan Toney looking for a way back into coming back to the UK.
Your man from Villa lasted 6 months.
Yeah,
Duran. He's in Turkey. He's in Turkey now, I think, isn't he?
Gini Wijnaldum. There's plenty of players who've gone to Saudi and it just hasn't worked. The standard of football is atrocious. It's not competitive. It's not meaningful football. The fans that are there, there's zero atmosphere. Stadiums are barely half full at best. They've already got their World Cup. They don't care about club game anymore. It's like, they're not going to be the mecca of football. Whereas they will look to try to build a new FIFA headquarters in the Middle East somewhere, but they're not going to dominate club football in any meaningful
Darwin's
way.
also wanting to leave.
Darwin's another one who's off. It's a Mickey Mouse league, and it's full of players who've seen the cash and thought, you know what, I'm going to go and have a bit, and you know what, good, fine, good, enjoy yourselves.
And
Just don't fucking cry about it to me after. Don't be like Ivan Toney. I want to come back and get into the Premier League, but I can't come back to the Premier League because of the tax bill that I might face, and I'm held hostage now. And piss off. You were fucking told. You know.
Yeah.
Don't cry about it. But
so speaking of people leaving Saudi, let's go into a bit of transfer speculation because it's that time of the year. Fuck it, may as well. It's nearly the weekend. So Ruben Neves, another player who hasn't agreed a new deal with his club, and is rumoured to be wanting to come back to the Premier League. I think a few clubs stiff around: Man United, Newcastle. I think it was posted in the Anfield Wrap by Neil Atkinson. Now, he mentioned Ruben Neves. Now, he did say, I'm not saying get Ruben Neves, but what he was saying is if Liverpool are looking in the summer to bolster squad depth and are looking for probably 2 midfielders, is this where you have to box clever, where you try and find an experienced head like Ruben Neves? He said, not necessarily him, but someone like him on a free, a la Kev, we did the Patreon show, Gary Mack, and then you go big on young, exciting prospects, a la Wharton.
Yeah.
So, but do you try, if the opportunity appears, do you try and take that opportunity early?
It depends on how you want to play. It depends on, I still don't know. Looking at the squad business that was done in the summer, you have to believe that the business that we've done so far is to a plan that is still yet to unfold.
Yeah.
I think the summer business that we did is part 1 of a 3-part plan. I think we're going to see part 2 in January, and I think you'll see part 3 next summer.
Yeah.
And then I don't think you'll see us do this very much of anything for probably 2 years.
Yeah.
Where we might have one in, one out.
Which normally in this ownership has been the way. They've had big summers.
They've had splurts, haven't they?
And then they have 2-3 summers where we do very little. Theoretically, though, if you get the big summer right, like the summer we got Alisson, Fabinho, Shaqiri, Keita, and in the January before we'd already got Van Dijk, your core's kind of settled. So then it's just drip feeding,
tipping
players,
away,
tipping away every now and again.
But to me, you got to. I look at the midfield that we have. Look at the midfield that we're going to probably put out against Spurs tomorrow, okay, or Saturday. Gravenberch, Jones, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Florian Wirtz. That's 5 central midfielders. Some more attacking than others, but that's 5 midfielders. If you're building a squad, you're only going to have 7 central midfielders. So you're only going to add 1 to that group who's going to be of a significant amount of money unless you sell one. And if the talks are to be believed, Szoboszlai is in the mix for a new deal. Gravenberch is in the mix for a new deal. Talk is McAllister might be getting a new deal.
I think Jones
ain't going nowhere. Florian's just signed. Endo looks like he's probably out the gap. For me, if you're losing Endo, you're not signing Wharton to replace Endo. Because the minutes aren't there.
But are you signing Wharton to then say, as we've sometimes seen at times this season, well, I actually will just have Gravenberch on the bench.
Yeah.
I will be able to, if we have the big week, Real Madrid, Man United, Man City, say you have one of those weeks, which kind of, we will play Gravenberch all 3 because the other options to play DM are Endo, who he absolutely does not want to do, or you do Jones McAllister as the 2 sitting ones. And to be honest, McAllister, it does okay, but you prefer him a little bit higher.
Yeah.
And I also think Wharton would give you the option of going 2 very defensive. If say, I don't know, you go into Barca and Real Madrid away, maybe you'd want a Gravenberch Wharton midfield too.
That's fine. That's £100 million, please.
Yeah.
And I want 250 grand a week. Where's the budget? You don't have it. You don't have a budget to do it.
Well, you don't know what the budget is.
You don't have a budget to do it because you still have to go and buy 2 centre backs. You still have to go and buy at least 2 forwards. So the luxury of signing Wharton to replace Endo isn't there for me. I cannot see that world.
Yeah, we say that, but in the summer we were saying
McAllister.
Yeah, but in the summer we were saying there was talk of I think we need another winger. Why are we talking about another winger? Where's the minutes? There's no minutes. Now we're all sat here going,
Well,
fuck
there
me, we're a
isn't any
winger.
minutes.
We're
Really.
a winger light.
There isn't any minutes really because we never saw, nobody foresaw Mo's drop off, and we still were short. Admittedly, if you wanted to play 4-3-3, we were going into the season with 5 forwards. Yeah, at the minute, it's about the only position on the pitch that I think that we actually have plenty of stock. Is the center of the park. We're well stocked with quality.
Yeah.
But we do have good players.
There's also, it wouldn't surprise me if one of the, I know there's talk of McAllister going again.
Yeah,
Whether he stays or goes. But in terms of, I agree with the forward situation because I think the issue we have with the forwards we've got is at the moment it's realistically 4 who were seen as starters and 2 lads who were just seen as last 20 players. Whereas I think last year, every forward, with the exception of Chiesa, was seen as a potential starter. Now, listen, there were games where you're going, I don't want Darwin to start. I don't want Jota to start this game. But that was just football debate. But they started, you went, yeah, it makes sense. They'll start.
Yeah.
Whereas this year, it's literally going, well, it's Salah, Ekitike, Isak, Gakpo. It's 3 out of the 4. The other 2 lads get warmed up for last 20s. That's all you're going to see.
Yeah.
And I think that's an upgrade to look at.
That's where I think the money needs to be invested in the squad going forward. I think we do need to add.
Yeah.
So I think Semenyo makes complete total sense.
He does because he covers both sides. He can also cover the middle, so he has that flexibility.
Exactly.
Liverpool and he's homegrown. The reason I'm looking at Wharton is that it's still a little bit of a homegrown worry with Liverpool is we don't have. It doesn't take much because I think Gomez goes in the summer, so I think you need another homegrown in, even with Semenyo. Yeah. So again, I know what you're saying it's 100 million, but there's that sort of noise of around what has been sniffed around for a while. Not just with Liverpool, with a couple of clubs. So you feel like he's ready for a big move. But again, that's
makes a point here. Elliot Anderson is another one that gets good.
That's what I mean. Maybe
I think you're fishing in around the same pond with the likes of Elliot Anderson.
I think that's 2 different players.
Financially.
Well, financially, yes, you are. You're talking big money.
I don't think Baleba goes for big money.
Oh,
the way he's fallen off this season shows a mental fragility.
You could see him go to United now, but only for
100%.
Yeah, but
65, 70, not the
only 80 instead of 100.
But this, what I mean.
But this is it. It is a big difference. You know, and you got to think about it as though we're talking about huge fees. The forwards that moved in the summer were the Ekitikes, the Wolfamada. They were all ballpark the same price. They were all between 60 and 75 million.
Yeah.
The big midfielders that moved, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Declan Rice, you know,
all 100
million pound players. None of the ones that are being talked about in the chat, Wharton, Elliot Anderson, they're not in that mix. They're English. And
I think Wharton's outstanding.
I think Wharton could be very, very good in a couple of years' time. I think he's still got an awful lot of development.
The other worry with Wharton is he does like an injury, which actually makes
he
it
definitely does.
Which, to be fair, makes it perfect for Liverpool because we do like an injured player.
Are you going to? This is where I think you have to look at the business that Liverpool still have to do. And look, I don't think a Ruben Neves type midfielder is out of the question. I think that's probably where we will end up going.
A bit like how we got with Shaqiri. It's like it's box clever for a.
You only need someone for a couple of years.
How old is he?
Ruben Neves isn't that old, you know. I'd say
he's not. Because he came on very early, didn't he?
Yeah, he just feels like he's been around for. Now, the elephant in the room, I think we've talked about this off air is. Look, we all know he was really close to Jota.
Mm-hmm.
So bringing him into our environment with what's happened might not be. That's why I don't think it'd be a move for Liverpool. But I think a player of that ilk and that price bracket could make sense as a experienced head. Probably does 2-3 years, and then you go, thanks very much. See you later. But that's all you need.
In fairness, if he is 28,
28.
Shit.
Is he out of contract this summer?
I think he's out of contract somewhere. So
Yeah, 30th of June.
they're trying to sell him on in January to make some money
Yeah,
back.
I think he'd be a great pickup. I think he'd be like I know the whole Jota situation. I think he'd be the perfect signing for us.
I think he'd be a very tidy footballer to get you over a 2-year, a 3-year period. He's experienced. You've seen him playing for Portugal, and he doesn't
likes a big goal as well, which is always
he doesn't look out of place in any position that he plays in the midfield for Portugal. I think he'd know his place within a squad.
Yeah.
And I think the chance of coming in and playing for a side that are competing on 4 fronts, I think he might like the opportunity of it.
Yeah.
And that's just specifically him. The other name I saw mentioned around this week was Guerrero at Bayer Leverkusen. He was a left back who became a left wing back and a left midfielder. He's a really progressive attacking fullback, but he's one of these players that if Andy Robertson isn't going to have his contract extended next summer, I think he's ideal.
Yeah.
You know, he'd be one of those ones that you'd look to bring in.
Yeah,
but
I think you're right though. And if you can somehow bring in Gueye and Ruben Neves both on free transfers, you're saying just fantastic business to start your window.
Sorry.
Do you think that Gueye hangs it out at Palace? I don't know what the final score was at Palace tonight. Whether he finished 2-2.
2-2, yeah.
2-2,
that means they finished outside of the top 8.
They were 16th when they were 2-1 down. I know that much. So
yeah, I think at 2-1 they were 10th.
Is that the last round? This?
I think so.
Did they play 6 or 8 games? 10th they finished, so outside the top 8.
But they've only played 6 games, don't they? And they've still got 2 more to play.
8, is it? Yeah.
I'm sure it's 8. Maybe I'm wrong. Where's Ashley? This way you need Ashley.
Yeah, what the fuck? Can't believe we come in so unprepared.
Well, we don't. Me and Kev are vibes. We have Ashley to do all the thinking for us.
Just the good looks. Is that what it is?
We're here for the vibes. Ashley's for all the hard work.
I like to hear
it. So speaking of doing all the hard work, if you join our Patreon, you can see some more exclusive shows. One that Ashley does, which is an absolute winner, which is Ref Watch, and her and Gav go through top 5-6 incidents from the weekend. But because behind the Patreon paywall, we're able to do replay, show highlights, go for slow-mos and see, do we think it's the right decision? Do we think it's the wrong decision? We Ashley did loads of research looking at the high boots situation, looking at Eze's compared to other ones. He's sort of seeing where they got it right, where they got it wrong. And then Kev, because he's a glutton for punishment, loves doing the reaction extra where we rewatch highlights of Liverpool losing games. Kev always does the losing games for some reason. He volunteers for them. I think he's got a bit of a sadistic streak in himself.
It's a kink.
It's a kink. And I just talk about the good old days when we won stuff. I just go for the vibes, and we all just talk about oh these girls great. This great we won stuff. I just do the easy shows. But listen, give it a go. It literally is cost for pints. It's not that expensive. If you become a Patreon before the 22nd of December, you'll be entered into our prize draw, which is to win 6 months for free. And look, it's nearly Christmas. If you're like me and Kev, dead disorganized, and there's somebody in your family who's into podcasting, who's into Liverpool, you can gift them Patreon membership. Start from £4, and I think if you want to give them a year, it's £48, and it's just emailed to you. There you go. Don't have to worry about postage. So there you go. Right,
don't even have to wrap it.
There's the admin done. I actually remember this time, Kev. I normally have a mess of Kev going, don't forget the admin.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Gueye then, because it was a good point, Kev. Does he hold out? No, if you're Gueye and you're his agent, hold out to the summer, big payday, guaranteed to play for Palace every week, World Cup spot sorted, happy days. But there are clubs, Liverpool and others, who need a centre back. It's just how much do they push for it?
I think if we were fighting for a title, I think we'd be looking to sign him on day one. If I'm Gueye and I'm his agent, I'm hanging out for Barcelona, or I'm hanging out for Madrid on a free in the summer because he's that good. He's unlike Kanate. who I thought was always a weird one to be linked with Madrid. Just because he's free doesn't necessarily mean he's a Madrid type centre back. He ain't. Madrid, under Xabi Alonso especially, are looking for ball playing centre backs. And Marc Guehi is a ball playing centre back. He's very good at the ball at his feet. He's very good at passing the ball out through the lines or bringing the ball through the lines. He's good at reading the game as well. And he's a good one-on-one defender. So if I'm Marc Guehi, I'm hanging out 100% for the summer and seeing what the World Cup brings and seeing what options open up to me. Because, look, clubs will be in for it. But at the same time, if he wants the security of knowing where I'm going to be living for the next 5 years, he's only 25. Does he turn around and say, okay, look, I already agreed to go to Liverpool. I gave him my word. It was pulled from under my feet. Yeah, I still want that move. Then
And I can't believe Liverpool and him haven't still been talking.
No, I 100% believe they have as well. And the more you start seeing the noise about Glasner leaving in the summer, it's just like, look,
that might also turn the owner as well, going like, well, I'm going to walk, and the owner might go, well, you're going to fucking walk anyway. So I'm gonna get. You've cost me money as it is. I'm gonna take.
I mean, I don't know if there's anyone in the chat can remember what Newcastle originally were looking to sign Marc Guehi for.
It was
I think it was £65 million was on the table at the time.
I think so.
And Palace knocked it back. And then Newcastle went back in again and they knocked it back. Then we went in and it got knocked back. And the fee that they're getting in is gradually going down and down and down.
60.
And, yeah, well, the irony is, if he leaves for nothing, Palace get nothing. And yes, they've won a World Cup. World Cup. They've won an FA Cup and a Charity Shield, which for Palace is fantastic. It's a great return. But the Conference League is not making you money. It's costing you money. And the squad depth, I looked at that Palace lineup tonight and it was riddled with kids from the youth team.
Because he'd said in Glasner, no player's going to play both games.
Yeah,
because the turnover's too quick.
He can't do it all. The depth of the squad isn't there. The Palace are a club who have to turn players over. They have to make profit on some of these players. And, they did it with Elise. They did it with Zaha. And they have to turn these players over. And eventually, I think they'll accept a bid in January for Marc Guehi. But I think Guehi would be equally as happy to stay there and see out his deal and see what options are open up for him in the summer. Well, I don't know. We do need a centre back. We do.
100%.
And whether it's Marc Guehi or whether it's Nico Schlotterbeck or whoever it is.
The young French lad whose name keeps getting mentioned. I think he's the centre back at Rennes. Yes, that's him.
I've never seen him play.
I've never seen him play. It seems to be the name that's doing the rounds on the internet rumours, but also actual credible journalists are starting to drop that as a name, as a possibility. So, but again, for Liverpool, say they went for him, who's a young centre back.
Actually, that's a really good point.
And Guehi, that kind of solves both your problems when you got Leone there as well.
Would anyone be shocked if Guehi and Glasner both ended up at United in the summer?
I would be shocked if Guehi went to United.
Really? I think just following his manager is my talk.
No, because I think he knows he can go a higher level.
I'm not trying to
pour
I agree
scorn on United. I just think he's going. I think if he has the choice of in the summer
Liverpool,
going United with a manager who knows, I can see the appeal. But then he's also like, but I could go Barcelona, I could go Real Madrid. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I think there's rumours City have looked at him because again, he'd work well in the City lineup.
It wouldn't surprise me an awful lot if that was agent talk. Like I could be wrong, but just
I could see him. I could see them looking at it because I think the one problem City have got with some of their centre backs, the likes of Ake and
England, I can understand, but
they can't stay fit.
Yeah, Barca and Madrid is the ones that I'm sort of going. I don't know. I don't know if he's better than what's there.
I mean, Brian's right.
I'm not repeating it, but it is. Yeah,
look, Kev has got the horn for Schlotterbeck.
I've been touting his. I've been talking about this kid since he was probably 2021. I really like him a lot.
He's 32 now. That's all it cares for going on about.
I just think he's quality. and he's flexible. He offers you
And-
flexibility.
And he looks like he's come back well from that ACL.
100%.
Yeah,
18 months left on his deal.
Yeah. I just think he's a smart bit of business. He's got the experience. He's got bags of experience.
I think if it wasn't for the knee injury, he probably would have gone this summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he
That'd
would.
be-
I can understand why a lot of clubs held off going, let's just see how he comes back first before we put a big fee on him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's similar to the likes of a Brantway at Everton.
Yes.
No one is going to, touch
No,
him now.
O'Shea
good touch
makes
to
a point there.
No good touch inflation
Jack
either.
seems to be the next big talent coming out of Stade Rennes Academy, which,
Mm.
the thing is, and Dylan, you made the point about Manchester United. Whoever goes in after Amorim has got to undo Amorim's 3 at the back. And,
Which maybe
Unless
allows
it's
the
Glasner.
because I think United will look to get rid of that system. I think the direct.
Oh, I don't know.
No, I think the people above Amorim will look to bring in someone to play more of a back four, a 4-2-3-1, or 4-4-2, whatever way they want to word it.
Give it Ryan Giggs.
But I
Till
think
the end
they'll
of the
look. I think they'll look to try to play a back four because this is the problem when you bring in a manager like Ruben Amorim or anyone or Glasner or anyone. If you're wedded to a back 3 or a back 5, and you're left to your own devices for 2 or 3 windows to buy for that system, when it comes to undoing it, you're in a world of trouble because the balance of your squad to shift it into a back 4 ain't there. I mean,
Conte did it at 2 Premier League clubs. It took Chelsea a while to get rid of that back 3 situation, and it hits. And he wasn't at Spurs long enough, but it caused problems at Spurs because you buy lads and you go, I've got too many centre backs now.
Yeah.
And none of them like to play fullback. What the fuck am I going to do?
I really think Glasner will go there. I'd be actually shocked if it wasn't Glasner who plays 3 at the back. So I think.
Yeah, but I think that I wouldn't be surprised if Glasner goes there. But at the same time, he didn't play that before he went to Palace. I think Glasner is very pragmatic.
Yeah,
I think Glasner to United worries me more than any manager in recent years. 1, because he's not a huge name. And 2, I think he's really pragmatic, and he will look at the squad that he inherits and look to devise a way of playing based around their strengths and go from there. Whereas Amorim is like, this is my ideals and this is my philosophy, and stick it in your pipe and just do whatever you like with it because that's my way of playing. And his level of arrogance is just so far away outstrips his tally of medals.
Yeah.
And the players that are experienced players that are there are seeing right through that. They're not having it. And you look at some of the other jobs that are potentially out there. Pep Guardiola goes in this season as well. If Pep Guardiola wins the league this season, which I think he will, I think he goes in the summer.
Yeah, I agree.
Man City's job suddenly becomes available. Chelsea's job is going to be coming up soon.
Yeah, but also
and potentially Liverpool's job is coming up soon.
Yeah, but also if Pep does win the league this year, which, like we said, there is every possibility because the gap's quite tight. That's 3 second places in a row not getting over the line for Arsenal. Does that then start to become the point where even the manager goes, I need a fresh start?
I just think the pressure starts lumping on him from there. I don't know if he'll walk, but I think the fans will be on top of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
but
to.
But again, if that does happen, that's also a big task for.
Yeah.
I know we all like to take the piss out of Arteta because it's funny to wind Arsenal fans up, but whoever has to take over him, has got to. That's the level now. Is we've done second the last 3 years. So whoever comes in, your job first season is win the league.
Yeah.
Also pressure. That's a big. It's big. I mean, to be honest, we would take City. I think it'll be similar. It's going to be a few clubs like that. Chelsea's a bit of a weird one because, quite frankly, you never know which Chelsea you're going to get. So, Mitch says interesting being the Athletic because Enzo Maresca has been linked as a potential person they've looked at as Petro, as is Alonso, to be fair. They also mentioned Alonso in there. So,
I think the one you've got to watch for in the managerial roundabout, watch where Cesc Fabregas goes.
He's definitely highly touted, isn't he?
He is. I watched a long interview with him there recently. He is so you forget what he's done in the game because I don't think he was ever an exceptional player. I thought he was a really good player, who was flexible and able to play in certain positions, and he was good. But you look around at the midfielders who were around at the same time as him, they were just better than him, but he wasn't that far below. But he played for a lot of clubs under a lot of managers. He will have learned an awful lot. And
I mean, play for that Spain side alone. How could you not?
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Busquets, Alonso, Xavi, Iniesta.
yeah.
If you don't learn
It's
it,
not a bad midfield to be
If you
saying,
can't-
look, I'm on the bench because look at what's out on the pitch.
it's not a bad midfielder who goes, I'll play false nine then. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
Lads.
played centre forward, didn't he, for a good
He
while?
did, yeah, he played centre forward
Go
for
for
a
it.
while, yeah.
But I mean, if you can't learn off that midfield, you're fucking hopeless.
Didn't he come
I
out
don't-
and say something
don't
mad
think he is.
midweek?
No, he's not. He looks a smart guy.
Actually,
Yeah.
might no, but I think he came out and said something mad about some of the players at the club, saying they're like nowhere near up to it. Midweek, like literally threw them under the bus. He's a bit of a lunatic, I think.
I was talking to Shawnee there not long back, and he reckons that Como are the richest club in Serie A.
Oh wow!
You know, with the amount of investment that came into Como.
Is it from City? The City group, isn't it?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are massive, and it's like they're trying to buy their way into a guaranteed Serie A state, and then look to kick on. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see him get a move to one of the German clubs, and then maybe into the Premier League, or because I think the Premier League can destroy a lot of managers when they come in. If they come in raw, and they come in there, I mean, Arne Slot is very much an exception to the rule.
Yep.
That you come in as, you're relatively inexperienced. Yeah, you've done it in the Dutch league, but you're in the grand scheme of things, you're fairly inexperienced. You don't have any experience of managing in the big 5 leagues, and you come in and you win a title. That shit just don't happen.
Yeah, Emery's a good example of it.
Yeah.
He was brilliant in Spain, came over, ridiculed because of the way he said good evening, and then fell apart, went back to Spain, and luckily it sort of worked out at Villa.
I mean, I think he's also shafted a little bit at Arsenal as well, with some of the
100%.
shite he had to pick up there.
Yeah.
But again, I think the season we're seeing this year with Slot, if we're being honest, is probably what a lot was assumed was going to happen in his first season.
Yeah.
It's like the reverse. Now, listen, there's big turmoil and changes behind the scenes at Liverpool, which is why this has happened. Mitch, but Arteta to City, I can't believe they wouldn't have the conversation wouldn't have been had.
Yeah.
Because he was, again, another one who worked under Pep, knows the ropes of City. I know it's like a stick to beat him with, but the fact he hasn't won the big ones yet with Arsenal,
I think
may go against him, but you never know, because
half his teammates at Arsenal done it as well, didn't they? Samir Nasri, they all jump ship and went to City. So
I think the way that a lot of managers are going to look at it, do you really want to be the guy to follow Guardiola?
Yeah.
In some ways, I think you have to look at the squad you're inheriting. It's still a really good squad. Do you know what I mean? It's not old. It's not like you're taking whoever comes in is going to be taking over a squad like Ferguson's at United.
Yeah.
That were completely one step short of Zimmer frames. They're going to be coming in, taking over a club with a lot of talent, and they're probably now. When you look at where they were 12 months ago, couldn't buy a win for love nor money, and then they kicked on. This season, I think it's hard to say because Haaland is just such a freak. Can they do it without him?
It does.
That's the thing. If they lose him for a month or two, Arsenal could pull away. And that's probably Arteta's thinking is manage the gap, stay with City as much as you can, because at some point, if they lose Haaland, that's when you can pull away.
Yeah, Anto Chill mentions Enrique for City.
Good show.
That's the one. That's the one. I
mean,
think, and I think the rumor mill is whether believe it to be true or not. I think he'd be a perfect fit for us.
Yeah,
I think Luis Enrique would be a perfect fit for us, but I just think the timing of it probably means it's not going to ever really happen. But do you guys think it'll be a busy January?
For us or for overall?
Or in general?
Yeah, I think
with the way the league is at the minute. Because I honestly think I caught a clip earlier on of Scholes and Nicky Butt talking. It might have been on the overlap, but the actual quality of the league itself at the minute. There's no standout sides. There's a lot of robotic football being played and join the dots football.
It's because the Premier League's gone down a very much probably set piece overkill.
Don't lose. It's a
Yeah.
don't lose attitude.
Yeah, there's less risks, and I still think generally to win a league, you've got to be able to. You've almost got to go with the mentality is play to win, don't play to not lose. Because I think eventually playing to not lose catches up with you.
Yeah, it gets you caught. Yeah,
and I think if you look City always as much as we all say Pep is possession obsessed and risk adverse, he knows when to take risks, and he buys players that are. If you look at the attackers he's had over the years, they'll all take risks. They'll all do something. They have creativity, and I do wonder if that's the thing that's holding Arsenal back at times. Is I still think they're probably too risk adverse for the crunch, and I think that's what sometimes happens. I think it'd be a busy, Jared, because I think there's also a lot of clubs, Palace and a few others, who are probably higher than they expected to be, and think the opportunity's here. Why not take it? Villa. Now again, I don't know what Villa's spending issues are like, but Villa. That's this where Villa look. This where Villa be looking going. They probably wish they could spend more money because that's the third, and they want to do it.
This is the same Aston Villa who can't afford to buy Harvey Elliott. So
yeah, Chelsea. I can see Chelsea going big again because they're fourth. They're not miles off, and Chelsea always like to go big. But you've got to look at it as an opportunity. I think we will. I think we will be quite busy because I think there are gaps in the squad that we generally need. I also think there are just general depth things where we're going we can't play the rest of the season with just two centre backs.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any star moves, but I think there will be. I think this could be a January window where you'll see a lot of squad players moving around. I think Liverpool will probably look to do something with Harvey Elliott, whether that's to bring him back to get him out on loan to Germany or to bring him back.
If they bring him back, they have to play him. They can't loan him anywhere else because he's already
loan him outside the league.
No, FIFA rules. Yeah, FIFA rules means you can only play for two clubs, and he played for us against Leeds.
He came on
early in the season.
Early in the season, so he's already played for Liverpool.
Well, I wouldn't be opposed to bringing him back and having him in the squad because at the minute his value is sinking faster than a stone.
Yeah. I actually think he ends up signing for Villa. He's 3 appearances away for signing for them. I think
he's not 5. He's not been in a squad for.
I was listening to a podcast. Anfield Rap earlier on said I think they've said he's 7 appearances in all competitions. He only needs 3 more. Maybe I'm wrong.
They're not even including him in matchday squads now.
I think it's 10. I think it might be 10 in the league, possibly. But
I think it was Emre basically come out and said,
"We're not signing him.
We're not signing him." Unless Emre leaves, it's just his value is dropping so drastically for us now.
On paper, if Harvey Elliott comes back as a squad option for Liverpool, to me, I have no problem with that because I think he gives you flexibility, he gives you options. The concern is, the manager didn't fucking want to use him last season.
Why would he want to use him
this season? Yeah.
But at the minute, it cost us nothing.
I think Lewis Steele came out and said that anyone he's speaking to in Liverpool is sort of speaking of Elliott as if it was a sale rather than a loan.
They budgeted for that fee to be coming.
Yeah.
And if it isn't, they have to react to that.
Yeah.
The only way they're going to increase or maintain his value is by bringing him back in and using him and showing that he does have a value.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that is to see him playing football. He's not going to gain or maintain his value not being used at Villa.
It would be interesting to see what repercussions that has on the Villa end because you can't see Liverpool sitting down and going and doing any nice little deals with them like that.
No.
Like we were nice enough to let that be a loan deal, obviously, to help them on PSR.
Which at the time we all thought was that like I was listening to the Villa podcast and they were saying like, listen, Liverpool's done us a favour. They said Liverpool don't do favours for free. He says that's a nod and a wink for a deal down the line.
We'll be back somewhere.
We did your deal here. Don't take the piss when we come for X player. We'll give you notices. Now, listen, that may have burnt bridge and Liverpool gone, fuck it, we're not deal with them.
Yeah.
Like Liverpool aren't going to deal with Newcastle for a good while.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see. We'll see. Listen, it's 11:20, so Kev's got to go to bed because otherwise he'll get really grumpy.
Yeah,
And you don't want to see that.
I need my beauty sleep now.
Yeah, when was that long, Kev?
Fuck off.
So listen, tomorrow, Patreon show tomorrow? Are you?
Yeah, big Patreon show tomorrow. Gav and Ashley are going to be discussing the World Cup and everything that's happened so far. Ticketing, the new ticketing scandals, basically everything to do with the organization of the World Cup for 2026.
Is this like a 3-hour podcast?
I have a feeling that Ashley tomorrow night is going to open up a can of whoop-ass on FIFA and Gianni Infantino and click the QR code. Do not miss it. Listen, every time I've said this, I've been proven right. The last time I said this was about Ref Watch last week, or Good Process last week, when I said, do not miss this. And everyone who tuned in to watch Good Process last week were thoroughly entertained. There was the most amount of people on Patreon that we've ever had watching a show from start to finish, watch that show. And the comments, the feedback that we've got after it has been phenomenal. I guarantee you tomorrow night's going to be exactly the same.
You can put Ashley's comment up on the screen there.
Yep, there will be cans. Basically, I think Gav is just going to turn around and say, Ashley, here's the mic.
Yeah.
Have fun. And Gav's
to be fair, as you said, Kev, there is one common denominator every time you plug the show. It's one Ashley's doing all the work for.
Oh, yeah, because I absolutely have total faith in Ashley's ability to do the work. And I tell you, you're not going to want to miss this one tomorrow night, 10 o'clock on Patreon. QR code is there. Give it a go for a month.
And honestly, you also get to listen to all the other behind the paywall podcasts we've done. So we've done Ref Watches, we've done looking at Liverpool things from the past and goals from the past and retro goals,
random shows.
You, me, and Kev, random shows. You, me, Kev. We looked at match for days goal of the season for 1992, which was some absolute bangers in there. There were some proper random names.
For people who don't catch the Patreon shows live, okay, they are released down the line on Spotify. So if you don't catch it on the day, catch it a couple of days later when it's released on Spotify. Download and listen to it. I promise you're not going to want to miss this one.
Yeah. So listen to them Friday, and then Saturday evening. I think it's us three and Ash talking about Liverpool.
Well, we got the 20
of again Patreon.
We're going to do the final 20 on Patreon for the 3 o'clocks, and then we'll be back to do the post-match show for hopefully 3 points for Liverpool away at the. How the hell have they not named their fucking stadium yet? By the way, it is without doubt the best looking stadium in the UK, and it's still called the City of London. Is it the London City Stadium?
No, that's Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, no?
I don't know.
City of London.
I heard someone calling it the White Hart Lane 2.0.
Oh, right.
Will you ever go away and just name your ground like?
I'm surprised they haven't got a naming rights for it.
In fairness, who the hell would want to be associated with Spurs at the minute?
There you go. At the end of the show, put in the comments who think will be a good sponsor for Spurs Stadium. That could be
go anyway.
Yeah, that could be anyway, especially if Brian gets involved.
The only fans arena.
On that note,
on that bombshell, Kev, take us home.
Good night, all.